What is going on, everybody? I am back today because until recently, I had totally forgot that on Netflix this year that Wes Anderson released a short film based on the works of Roald Dahl. And not only did he release one short film, he ended up releasing four. One is The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which is almost 40 minutes. And then he released three other separate short stories that are all between 17 and 22 minutes. And the fact that he released these the same year as Asteroid City is incredibly impressive because Wes normally takes a pretty decent chunk of time between his films to make the things he wants, because his films have a lot of attention to detail and the production design and the way that they're shot. I can only imagine the pre-planning stages to get his films done. And as I reviewed Asteroid City earlier in the year, and I absolutely adored that film. It's top 4 in Wes Anderson's catalog for me. I love the themes that the film explored. I thought the performances were all really fantastic. And so I knew this wasn't a full-length feature, but to know I got 4 more items of Wes's this year was really exciting. So I'm mostly going to talk about The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar today, but I'm going to briefly mention, after that's done, the 3 short films that he worked on as well, kind of give my brief thoughts to each and every one of them. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is directed by Wes Anderson. A rich man learns about a guru who can see without using his eyes. He sets out to master the skill in order to cheat at gambling. So as I said, I was really excited to watch this short film, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. What it did to me is it really proved that Wes is a master of his craft and that he could create this story in 40 minutes that has really great character writing, great performances, an interesting payoff to the film, and obviously Wes's really incredible visual style. This story tells us the story of Henry Sugar, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, who is described at the beginning as this wealthy man with not a care in the world. There's not really anything interesting about him. He ends up going to this party and stumbling into a library and finding this book. And when he reads this book, it's narrated by Dr. Z.Z. Chatterjee, played by Dev Patel. And he is telling us about this man, Imdad Khan, played by Ben Kingsley, who comes in to his doctor's office and says, I can see completely blindfolded. You can do a medical procedure on me. You can do whatever you want. And I can read an entire book with my eyes completely shut. And so they do this procedure on him to temporarily seal his eyes. And they find out that it's real. And he recounts the story of Imdad Khan and his experience and how he learned how to do this. And so Henry Sugar reads this story and says, wow, this is amazing. But instead of using that power to help people or do something interesting, he wants to acquire this gift so that he can cheat at gambling. And so the story is us learning about how Henry Sugar will go to acquire this gift and then what he does after he acquires this gift. So as per Wes Anderson's usual, the visuals in this are absolutely incredible. They feel so much like a stage performance where you actually have people kind of like pulling away props and moving into a new space. And what I love is Roald Dahl, with his works, creates these really interesting worlds that you just want to immerse yourself into, and it really does feel like a book coming to life, which is the best compliment I can give to a director, because there's so many instances where works of literature have been translated into film that it's been kind of embarrassing. And what I loved about this is, obviously this is a Roald Dahl short story, but it's translated in a way that is just so beautiful and captivating, and it's so easy to lose yourself in the film. I really love the narration style in this. It feels like you're reading. They actually have Ralph Fiennes play Roald Dahl in this and all the short stories that are attached to it. And I really appreciated that a lot. I feel like it really made you feel like a book was coming to life on screen in front of you. And I think this story is really interesting because of the moral compass of it all, where the character starts off as like, I just want to cheat on gambling to make money. And then his motivations slowly start to shift, where like, hey, I don't really feel anything after I just get this money because it just feels like I did it. There's no real thrill or excitement. Is there something more I can do with it? And so the morality of the story is really interesting too. And I think the way that Wes conveys it is really interesting. And I think, like I said, everyone in this short film does a phenomenal job. I loved Benedict Cumberbatch in this. I love seeing Dev Patel, who was a standout in this and in a couple of the other short films that Wes did that were attached to it. I think Dev is an incredible actor. Loved seeing Richard Ayoade in this. I feel like I don't really get to see him in a whole lot anymore, and he was really fantastic in the moments that he was incorporated. Ben Kingsley was great as per usual, and Wes just knows how to get the best out of his actors, and I really loved that about this particular short film. And I don't have much more to say about Henry Sugar. It's just very charming and funny, and it's a really quick story that's easy to immerse yourself into. So the other stories that Wes released are The Swan, Poison, and The Rat Catcher, and all of those are within 17 to 20 minutes. I would say my favorite one of the three was probably The Swan. Rupert Friend is the lead performance in The Swan, and he is fantastic in it. It is a very short and simple story about a person getting bullied, and I think it is incredibly powerful. The closing of the little 17-minute short really packed a very heavy punch, and I think because the person who is experiencing the bullying is recounting on their childhood and telling it from a first-person perspective, it makes it all the more impactful. And what I really like about this short in particular is the way Wes kind of transitions from space to space. It feels like it's shot in one take in so many moments, which is what's so impressive about Wes, because obviously his camera movements are always very symmetrical, and this was just mesmerizing. I loved the way this story was told. I thought it was very impactful, and like I said, I thought all the performances were really great. The Rat Catcher was really good. I feel like it was my least favorite of the three. It was kind of all over the place. There were moments of it that I really appreciated. I liked how transformative Ralph Fiennes' character was as the Rat Catcher. Rupert Friend was really good in this one as well. Richard Ayoade was the narrator in this, and I really liked it. They did this really interesting thing with the rats where at first there were like no props, and it was just like them just holding the air essentially, and then a prop was introduced, and I thought it was really unique and kind of quirky the way that was added in, and I appreciated that a lot. And I really thought the performances were all very good, but I thought this one, as far as the message was concerned or what it was trying to convey, was the least powerful of all of these. And then the last one, Poison, I was very surprised at the statement that was made in this one about racism, and I thought that it was really well handled in the very last punch of the short film. Benedict Cumberbatch is stuck in a bed in this one, and he has a snake wrapped around his legs. If this snake bites you, if you don't have the antidote to be able to stop it, you're killed immediately. And so he shares a room with Dev Patel's character. Dev Patel calls a doctor, Ben Kingsley, to come help with this, and the entire runtime is them trying to get the snake off of Benedict Cumberbatch's character, and then it takes a very interesting twist at the very end. And like I said, it was a very poignant and powerful message about racism, and I really liked the way that it paid off. And I thought all three of the short films were a great accompaniment to Henry Sugar. It gave the actors some more ability to perform with Wes, show kind of how they operate with him on the big screen, and it was just a really entertaining experience to sit down and watch all of these back to back to back. And if you get the opportunity to sit down on Netflix one night and just watch all four of these, it is 100% worth it. They're all incredibly charming, they're short, they're sweet, and they show why Wes Anderson is just one of the best to ever do it. So have you seen the wonderful story of Henry Sugar and the three accompanying short films with it? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought all of these were really entertaining and charming. I really feel like Wes is at a period in his career where he can showcase his signature style while also telling stories that he really cares about. And with working with Fantastic Mr. Fox earlier, it seems that he really cares about the works of Roald Dahl, and he does a really great job at presenting them in film format. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.